Hey Space Nation, today we're talking to this guy, number one on the leaderboard list, Iván García. He's a prime competitor. I'm excited. Let's get started. Hi Iván, how you doing?
Hi Aaron, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for jumping on. I know that you're actually super excited because Uruguay just won in the World Cup. Not the World Cup, but in the knockout stage, right? Who are they playing next?
France, Friday.
Wow. So Friday's a big day for you.
I'm very happy, I'm very excited for this World Cup. We are in quarterfinals, and this is very good.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, there's not very many teams left, and the passion, we were talking about this before, obviously, but the passion that exists down here in South America, Uruguay, Argentina, where I am, it's just a different level. It's a different level than, experience that I've seen, just a whole country uniting behind something so passionately. Really, really exciting to be a part of. So we'll start right into our questions. The first question I have is kind of the generic cliche question. Who is Iván? What do you feel like describes you? Where are you from? We've already talked about that a little bit. But what do you do on a day-to-day basis? That kind of stuff. Just to tell us a little bit about yourself so we can feel like we know you.
I'm Iván García. I'm from Uruguay, a small little country, a small country in South America. I'm 40 years old. I'm married with Marlene. She's a Colombian girl. We live here in Uruguay for 5 years. I work in a bank. I'm a sales executive. I practice athletics. I train every day. I enjoy a lot training.
And you used to run. I did some of the stalking, on Twitter and different things, and I believe you used to run competitively. Maybe you still do run competitively for Uruguay, or what? Tell me a little bit about that, because that's really interesting to me.
Yes, I am a master competitor now because I am 40 years old, but I practice athletics since 1992. More than 25 years. Athletics is a passion for me. Track and field is a passion. I enjoy a lot, and it's a very good activity for distress myself for the daily activities.
Yeah, totally get that. And your events, what were your events in track and field? They were 800 meters, 400 meters?
Exactly.
Okay, those two events. Awesome. That's really I think it says a lot about who you are, because you're currently number one on the leaderboard. And I'm sure you the Space Nation leaderboard, top 100, right? And I'm sure you want to stay that way. But it says a lot about you. You're a competitor. You got a competitive spirit. So that's really cool. So the next question that I like to ask, because it probably says more about me than it says about you, because I just want to know what people are watching on TV. But I find it interesting. What shows are you watching recently? Is there anything? We know you've been watching the World Cup, so we know that. But other than that, what's the stuff that you've been watching on TV?
I don't have TV. I need time to play Space Nation.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's a good answer. The answer is I don't watch TV. I just play Space Nation and run and work, right?
I have TV. I have Chromecast and I watch YouTube channels.
Okay.
Like Mars Walker.
Oh, Mars Walker. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what I was hoping for. Well, no, that's actually a great answer. It's one of those things that, I think we all are a little embarrassed about how much TV we watch, or at least in denial about how many hours we spend on Netflix, for example. I wouldn't want to add my hours up. I'd probably be embarrassed. But
I don't have TV because see, you spend a lot of time watching TV and the life go away.
yeah.
Watching TV. I prefer live, have experience, and enjoy the life.
So hey, let's jump to the next question, and that is, so it's kind of a two-part question, more about the Space Nation Navigator app. When did you first start playing Space Nation or download the app?
Yes, I discovered the app in April 20 in my work, my job. I was reading the news in an internet portal, and I read an application can bring you to space. Wow,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
I read it. It was real. I downloaded the application, and immediately start to play, to discover the missions. It was very interesting, and the possibility to go to space.
Yeah.
Was great.
Exactly. It seemed like me. It seemed a little bit too good to be true, right? When you first started. What is it that excites you about the app? That makes you excited about it? That makes you want to spend so much time in it? Playing the games, playing the missions, and that sort of thing.
The possibility to have this experience, to learn about the space, the possibility to go to Iceland. That's a very exciting possibility, and I like so much the quizzes games in internet, the application of quizzes games.
Okay, yeah, it's similar to what Danny was saying. She's a big quiz game, she loves those kinds of things. So right up the same sort of alley there. Given that you are such a competitor and it's part of who you are deep down, that you enjoy competing, that being on the leaderboard and being number one on the leaderboard, or whatever number you were when you first started, was kind of a driver for you. Is that true?
Yes, I like the competition because my athletic experience. The competition make us better for me and for the other. For example, in this game, Daniel Rocco is a very good competitor.
Yeah, number 2 on the list right now. He probably doesn't want to stay there very long.
Yeah. He motivates me a lot, and I think I motivate him too. And that's good. That's funny.
That's good, and I think it speaks to the type of person that you are. You're a true competitor, but I mean, I think we all are. If we want to be on the list, we want to be on the top 100. We want to participate potentially in going to Iceland or wherever the missions are held or the in-person training is held. That's obviously a good driver. It pushes us to want to compete, but I do think we have to want to compete and enjoy it a little bit just to be a part of this.
I like compete, but I like cooperate too, yeah, and teamwork.
Yeah, that's true.
I like teamwork too. This interview, for example, is teamwork because we are communicate to other people our experience, and that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a group in Twitter with you, with Ishita, with Elena from Croatia, and Danny. That's very good. Oh, we have a problem. That is my dog. She's my partner of training.
Exactly. Everyone needs a training partner. And I think a point you were making right before Tata came in was that there's the competitive aspect to this. but there's also the teamwork and the cooperation. And I think that's one of the reasons why I even want to do this channel, for example, is that when I'm working on the app on my phone, the app itself, currently the way it stands, there is a desire for teamwork, and we hear some stuff in the missions about how teamwork and cooperation is important. But because we're all on our phones all over the world, it is have this kind of isolating effect where it's just me on my phone competing against this person and that person. And I wanted to bring some of this information together where we can, kind of collaborate and have a teamwork, the teamwork that, we need to, be successful.
Because it's very good for all us, for all the Space Nation participants. Congratulations to them.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. I know that when people are starting to ramp up, and the competition will really be starting, officially in August or so. And there will be a lot of people ramping up, I'm sure, between now and then that will want to have a little bit of this information coming in, and will be helpful for them to kind of learn faster, maybe than all the time it took me to learn stuff, just banging my head against the wall, figuring it out, trial and error. So, so let's move quickly on to the next question, which is an easy one, but what is your least favorite and your most favorite mission in Space Nation Navigator app today?
Yes, my favorite missions are the body missions, because I'm training, and a lot of them are similar to my training. For example, Planet Collector. I made a lot of Planet Collector.
Yeah.
Because I use for where I'm map my training.
Yeah, you use Planet Collector for a warm up. I do that almost. I try and do a Planet Collector every day. I don't know if I could qualify it as just a warm up, but that's a type of, like, you clearly have an edge. I would say an edge in the physical body competition space, being a track and field competitor for so long. But
yes, it's practice. It's a routine. Planet Collector is my warm up, and Space Escape Run is my training.
Nice.
Yes. One time I do 28 Space Escape Runs missions consecutive in one training.
Yikes! I'm not sure how if I did 8 consecutive, I would be happy. I would be bragging about that. If I had 28 consecutive, that seems totally insane to me. But
it was a great training.
Yeah, exactly. But so you're a huge fan of the body missions. Awesome. What are your least favorite missions? If there's one you had to say was something you're always trying to skip, or you're just not you don't enjoy it that much.
Paper plane is very difficult mission.
Paper plane, higher level.
You have it's very difficult. In the higher level. Currently, docking with ISS is very difficult too, because you must dock a lot of docks.
Yeah, exactly. I just noticed that I tend to focus on missions that produce more points, do the quizzes, which kind of cover all of the badges. But
exactly.
Docking with the ISS recently, I found out, like, I went back and tried it, and it was at my new level where the difficulty is higher. I'm like, I don't know how I can even get this to go to get the number of dockings that I need. It's crazy.
Yes, another of my favorite missions are landing. I can landing everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The landing mission's weird for me, because if I am out in public or whatever, you have to be like perfectly level. So you have to hold the phone like this, right? If you hold it like this, it messes up. And so I'm doing one of these. This is how I'm playing landing missions.
It's a little embarrassing, but
Ivan's committed, everyone. Ivan doesn't care if he looks like a total, crazy person out in the street.
I don't have problems in the streets, in restaurants.
Not a problem for you. Yeah, I think that's fun, and I do think that I can echo your sentiment there on some of the stuff too. It took me a while to get into body missions. I had some errors and stuff, but once I started getting into them, I really like that routine and the fact that it really does just give you that little bit of incentive and that push to go outside and work out, whatever that is, right? Or some of the missions are inside workouts as well, but I've really enjoyed that, and it's just that little bit of push you need sometimes. Just no one really wants to go to the gym or go run or whatever. Everyone needs that little push, and I think that's been really good for me. And I know Danny said similar things as well, so that's really cool.
That's part of that experience. The possibility to train, to get better yourself, to improve like a person, like a human being. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I can totally understand where you're coming from. So the next thing, and it ties into what we just said. It's a great segue here. Is what from the missions do you feel like you have learned? So there's a lot of different things that are going on in the missions, but what's something that you feel like that you have learned? And then the second question to that is, what are those things you feel like you've learned that you're using in life on a daily basis?
In life, discipline. Yes, you learn about the space. You learn about the space. The possibility to improve my English. That's not good. That's not so good, but this is important for me because I speak Spanish every day, and with this application, I have to read the questions in English and an answer in English, and this is interesting for me too.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I totally agree on this. English that really does make sense. The thing that I was really interested in is what you said was discipline, and I think that's true. I wasn't thinking about it from that perspective before, but once you said it, just like a light bulb in my head. You're right, because a lot of the ways that they've made the app, it requires you to log in on a regular basis to really get whatever it is, quizzes, missions, doing body missions. That's a lot of discipline, forcing yourself to go out and do what you were maybe not going to do for a run or whatever it was. And it did, yeah. I mean, when you start to add a little bit of discipline into your life, what I've found personally, you add a little bit into exercise or something like that, it starts to kind of filter into the rest of your life as well. So you're more disciplined with eating right or whatever. And it just like these little pushes that give you some discipline. I can totally understand how that's a big thing. And I really enjoy that. So I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't thinking about that, but you're right. It just makes sense.
Yes, set goals and go for that goal. That's important. Since I started to play, I play it every day since April 20 because I want to win the contest. Goal for me. If I don't matter. I enjoy the experience, and our national team coach of soccer, Oscar Washington Tavares, always said, "The way is the reward." Enjoy the way. This is important. Enjoy the way, and I am enjoying a lot. This way, Space Nation way.
Yeah, the way is the award. That totally makes sense. I've heard that. We have a similar phrasing. There's different things all over the place about that, but totally understand because that's true. I feel the same way. I want to go to space and I want to win, and I'm a competitor. But at the same time, I can look back, and if I can imagine myself as losing in the competition, I can look back and see I've learned so much. I've become a better individual, uh, more intelligent towards things about space exploration, cooperation, just become a better individual, as a basic human level. That I'm not at all mad about having spent that time, having wasted that time or something. I'm not worried about
It's extraordinary people like you, like Ishita, like Jelena, like Danny, like the people of Space Nation, the Space Nation team, the support team, Kale, the CEO. She is very cooperative, and I'm very happy with this experience.
You're right. The people involved, not just the people at Space Nation, but also all of us as competitors who are on the app using it regularly. That is becoming kind of a community that, yeah, I mean, it's a community that I'm glad I'm a part of, and I will never feel like is a waste of time. So one of the things that I'm thinking a little bit more broad for the next question. So not specifically about the Space Nation app, but a little bit more broad about astronaut training, potentially going to space, and maybe your dream to go to space. What's the thing that's like the most exciting part of that? And also the most maybe scary or the most intimidating part of that?
The exciting part is um, reach a goal, a dream. This is a dream. The, every kids in the world will have the dream to go to space. Um, um, this is a dream. In Uruguay, we have the dream to get a soccer player, but I couldn't. And no, this is a dream. This is not some experience. Go to space. You see in the movies. Um, you you never think really go to space.
Yeah.
It's like a fantasy, but this possibility is real. Um, um, we have the possibility to participate of this experience. Um, this is exciting.
Yeah.
And the
I,
other part
I
of it,
I'll just jump in. I totally agree with you on that, and I think it cannot be understated that there was so many people like myself, and you even touched on it as well, where you realized you weren't going to be a professional soccer player, professional footballer. You weren't going to be doing that at some point. Whatever, you moved on, maybe found a different dream, but this dream of being an astronaut or going to space, it's something where a lot of people, we kind of just assumed that that wasn't going to be us. There's this one route of going through NASA or where whoever else, there's a few countries that even do this. And so it's just like, it's never going to happen. Why waste my time? Now, I feel like what Space Nation is doing is providing the avenue for people to really realize dreams. And I think that is incredibly exciting. If you have that childhood dream, I mentioned this with Danny, you have that childhood dream that all of a sudden you've been kind of suppressing for years, and all of a sudden they've added this excitement that it could be realized and you could actually be going to space. That, I mean, it makes you a kid again. All of a sudden you're like a little kid with a bunch of energy. So sorry, I interrupted you, but the next thing is, what do you feel like is the most intimidating aspect of potentially going to space or the training?
I don't have fears. And I, I always see the good part of the life. I don't see any negative possibilities. I think in positive.
Exactly. Well, no, that's a good attitude to have. There are things that are intimidating about space, and for me, there's a lot of potentially scary stuff about space. The physical danger, the unknown. Like, who knows what we'll even find when we go out and explore. But I totally get what you're saying. It's about making sure that your excitement and your desire to push those boundaries is greater than whatever fear you have, right? So I totally understand that, and I'm right on board with you there. Okay, so the last question I have, we touched on this a little bit about the community that is kind of forming around Space Nation, the app. Who's the one person that you want to meet that is on the leaderboard today? And leaderboard can be anywhere on the leaderboard. I don't know. It doesn't have to be in the top 10 or something. But who's the one person that you feel like you really want to meet? It's someone that's intriguing to you. Maybe it's someone that you're always competing against, that you've just wanted to meet face to face.
A lot of people. You, for example.
All right, check. There's one.
Elena from Croatia, Dani, Ishita, Daniel Rodko.
Yeah. I think I could see you guys. You're gonna compete against each other head to head.
Yes, because he motivated me to better to get better.
Yeah.
Yes, people there are many interesting people because I think that the people who played this game is people similar to me because they have the similar interests.
No, that's great. And you're right. I don't think there's any one person that I'm excited to meet, one specific person. But I do think that that community that is being created and kind of forming around Space Nation Navigator, the app, the potentially the top 100. I think that community is going to be very important because it's a group of people that are excited about space, and that excitement pours over to your friends, to your family, the people that are around you. And so I do think that, that community is so cool and so important. And I've been super, super surprised at just how many people have these similar interests, because I feel, kind of ridiculous putting so much time into a mobile app sometimes. I kind of feel this is crazy, right? But no, there's a lot of other people doing this, and it's not just about playing a game. It's about improving ourselves, and that community is going to be so important moving forward, I think.
Yes, and the Space Nation team too. They are very, very nice people, and I wanna meet them.
For sure. Same here. Okay, so that's all my questions, but I wanted to kind of open the floor to you. If there's anything that you wanted to share with people that might be watching this, do you want people to follow you on Twitter or whatever it is, that kind of thing? It's totally open to you to just say what you want to say.
My advice for this game is play, and play. This is my my favorite advice.
The final advice is just stay consistent, right?
It's my favorite. Play, and play. Be dedicated and work for your dreams. I don't have secrets. I play a lot, and this is my secret. I play a lot in the game. Be disciplined and enjoy the game because it's a very fun game.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, and it's perfect advice, and I do think that's important. Dedication. Well, thank you for answering my questions. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. This interview was a great idea.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Iván García. I know that I did. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe just below my head down there. And also, keep racking up those points. Keep working on getting higher in the ranks, and I will see you guys at Space Camp.